Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. We got about a minute to go, and then we get going on the also, make sure that tumbling in, or on the replay, and then hit the like button. Here we go.
3, 2, 1, live. Cool.
Welcome back, Fun Fam. And if you're brand new to the channel, welcome in to Follow the Bradleys Fun, the Daily Dish with me, your host, Ron E. Bradley. I hope that wherever you are, you're having a phenomenal day, morning, afternoon, evening, middle of the night, whenever you're watching. I hope it's great. Speaking of the day, as of today, as of the recording of this, the live streaming of the Daily Dish show, it is the 9th day of December 2024. Oh my gosh, 2025 is looming. It's up on us. 2024 has been a decent year, but for me, a lot of trepidation because I wasn't sure how the year was going to end and certain decisions that would be made, say around about a month ago. And I'm very happy the way things have turned out. And I'm so... with a breath of fresh air and delight and everything else, I am really, really looking forward to 2025. Is this a mess over here? That made it worse. My green screen is a little off over there on that side. Maybe I'll just tilt that way. Like, there you go. Let's see who all is in the chat in the house today. I'm assuming that you're hearing me okay. I always have to wait and check that. Yeah, it sounds okay from what I can tell. So let's get going. Let's say hi to everybody. And by the way, if you are watching, if you're coming in now watching this live, maybe you've never seen it before, maybe you have, whatever. If you don't mind hitting that like button, we certainly do appreciate that. That really, really helps the channel out. If you're not subscribed, I don't know why you wouldn't be, but please consider subscribing to the channel. It's absolutely free. It doesn't cost you anything. Just hit that little subscribe button and click that notification bell, because when you click it, you stick it to the YouTube algorithm and you get notified of all of our uploads here and Follow the Bradleys Fun. And we really like to have fun. It is the main theme of the channel, is having fun and then reporting back to you the best way that you can have fun when you're visiting Orlando or other theme park areas. We do theme park news. We do some pop culture stuff. Pop culture news. The more I've been on WDW Pro, the more I've had to keep up with everything that is pop culture relevant and theme park. And then there's the unfortunate part of where pop culture and theme parks and politics cross. I'm not a politician, and I'm not a political pundit. I don't cover political news, but sometimes that unfortunately crosses paths with theme parks, and we cover that. However, not today. So if you're worried about it, it's not happening today. No big deal there. But I am very excited about. Well, there's one bit of news that I'm going to get to that I'm not super happy about. I got to do. It's a little bit of a tragedy, but we will cover it here momentarily. But let's get to the good stuff first and the fun stuff first, and let's say hi to everybody that's in the chat that's come into the house already this morning. And again, if you're watching this on the replay, hit the like, comment below that you're a replay gang watching this on the replay. Hopefully you fast forwarded through the intro stuff. You can do that. And if you're watching this live and you haven't hit the like button yet, why not hit that like button on the way in? Tom F., one of our great wrenches and friends of the channel here. Good morning. By the way, this is the week I will be getting in touch with a lot of you because there's some info I need to get. So good morning to Tom F. and Go and Shogi, a great wrench friend of the channel, says good morning. Little Mouse 27 here, almost every daily dish. We appreciate that. Good. Hey, Little Mouse 27, good to see you in the house. Equus Heart is here. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Equus Heart. Hello. Go and Shogi says hello to Equus Heart. Little Mouse says hello, Tom. Go and Shogi, what's up? Equus Heart. And Disney Crush Fan. Hey, dudes. What's up, Disney Crush Fan? How are you doing, dude? Love to see you in the house. And Go and Shogi says, Disney Crush Fan, hola. Hola, Go and Shogi. Dude, you're totally awesome, dude. And we have the Bud Files. Good morning, Sue and the Bud Files. Good morning. Good to see you here. We've got one of my favorite people to see in chat, OCDD93. Didi, not Diddy, and definitely not Jay-Z. Yeah, that whole Diddy story is getting worse, and it's going to get much worse. And not really, I mean, see, again, that is where sometimes politics and pop culture cross, because there's going to be, depending on who's in charge of executing the law, that could have some serious consequences. And that, of course, is Diddy. So that's definitely pop culture. Not my fault. I don't deal with it. It's not, it happens to come up, and it ain't my fault, guys. But what is my responsibility is you. Giving you what you guys want out there. And one of the things you guys love from this channel, I know, is our celebrations. What do we celebrate? We celebrate you, because you are the energon that makes this guy transform and roll out of bed early in the morning. Oh, okay. Thanks, Tom. Yeah, cool. And I've got to get I'll be getting some stuff out. I'm very excited for, because you guys, you don't know this. If I talk about it too much, I will, in fact, start to cry, and I do not want to do that on the air. But I love you guys more than I can say. This year, my goal was to build a community, and that community has started, and we're growing the Fun Fan community, and it does things to my heart. That it warms my heart. I just love you guys so much. So just to celebrate you all out there, and of course, any extra things that you want to give to help support the channel, I just so appreciate. Whether that is super chat, super things, super stickers, buy me coffees, PayPals. I really need to get into my buy me a coffee page. I don't drink coffee. It's really buy me a, what do I call it? I call it Buy Me a Dole Whip, but that page is my Patreon. I don't use Patreon, the website. I use Buy Me a Coffee. It's the same thing. It's just it doesn't have the brand recognition that Patreon has, but if you support on Buy Me a Coffee, you become a patron of the channel. It's somewhat like membership, but YouTube, but they take less. So anyway, but I need to really look into building that for you guys so that I can have channel patrons and give you guys a lot of special stuff over there, especially the members of the channel. I'm trying to do a lot more for members and a lot more in the next year and figure out my membership discounts on my merchandise and all that stuff. But anytime those memberships are dropped or somebody becomes a member, super chat, super thanks, super sticker, all that stuff, that is when we like to celebrate you. And how do we celebrate? Well, we have several celebration videos, kind of like this one. We love to celebrate. I'm back. Well, I feel like Tom from Midnight's Edge. It's funny. Oh my! Hey, Tom. Speaking of Tom. You know which Tom never watches the show? I think Tom Corliss probably never watches the show. That's okay. You know why? Do you know why some of the people are so big in this space on YouTube? It's because of the timing with which they started. They started years ago, and I appreciate that. I understand it. It's branding. It's timing. It's all good stuff. And it's hard. See, here's the thing. You get in on the quote unquote bottom floor of something, and it can be really, really good, but it's unproven. Then you get on something that's proven, and it's actually sometimes harder because it's proven. It's proven because it worked from the bottom floor. But anyway, hopefully YouTube is not that way. I'm hoping that YouTube, or at least something like it, will always be around and be here to stay. As a matter of fact, there's several other video platforms that exist out there that are attempting to compete, as we know. One of them is like the Green Machine, and a few others. Good morning, Bud Files. Good morning. We see you in here, Sue. But yes, indeed, I think that there will always be some type of platform for content creators like myself, and then we just hopefully build up our audiences, and you guys will hopefully stay with us, whether we're here, whether we're on X, whether we're on the Green Machine, or A27, I think is another one that I'm a part of that I don't do anything for, or what. I don't know. It's crazy out there. It is a crazy environment when it comes to entertaining platforms and all of that kind of stuff. Oh, so Nightbot is running in the background. And I don't know what you. Oh, okay, I see. I'm so sorry about that, Nightbot. I don't. Nightbot is a bot. It's not a real person. So it responded to. It responded. I don't know. I haven't looked at my Nightbot settings in a long time. I apologize. What does it say? So email Orlando. No, it's okay. So it is Orlando Bradley Family. It's almost exactly what you wrote, but without the word fun at the end. So it's just Orlando Bradley Family at gmail.com. OCDD93. Orlando. So don't write it again, because Nightbot will be a jerk to you. But Orlando Bradley Family. That's it. OrlandoBradleyFamily@gmail.com. Yeah, just no fun at the end of it. So, and it should be on my main page somewhere. But there are settings that I probably should take a look at my YouTube main page at least once a week, and I don't. There are so many things that I need to set up. The hardest part of being your own boss is being your own boss and creating like a schedule for myself. So I'm doing specific things every week to make sure everything is kept up to date. And I am learning this as I go. I don't know how people learn if they have to do this and have a regular job. I don't think I'd have the energy at my age. I'm considering it. But I'd like to not have to do that. I am trying to really just have this be that is my full time what I do. But I gotta get better at it, and a lot better, a lot quicker. True story. But yeah, so let us start to get into, speaking of stories, let's get into the stories. The first one I have to cover, I'm not honestly super excited about. I'm going to see if I can find it. Wow. Let me see. There's a whole bunch of stories. There's a lot that I would like to get into. That's a Disneyland story, so I'm going to skip that. I'm looking through these stories. And trying to find, there's a particular one. Oh, here it is. Oh, okay. So eeks. This is a sad story, guys. I'm warning you ahead of time. The story that I'm about to share is a bit of a Debbie Downer type story. Well, I'm trying. I saw it trolling people in another chat once. Seemed like it was real. Nightbot has no couth. No couth there. Okay, so I'm going to share the story. Oh boy. And it's not the kind of story that it's extremely relevant to the channel, and it's extremely important that I cover stuff like this. I actually, you know what? I'm going to share one other thing real quick before I share this story. Well, let's do this first, and then we'll get into all happy news. It's funny that some downer news is happy news, but you'll see what I'm talking about. Anyway, influencer Dominique Brown passes of food allergy at industry event, despite allegedly informing staff of her allergens. And I would definitely say that she informed them. Dylan Soup has entered the chat. What's up? What's up, Dylan Soup? How you doing? So yeah, this is now, I'll be honest, this is not an influencer I had ever heard of. I don't know who Dominique Brown is or was. Apparently, she had some type of a following somewhere. Otherwise, this wouldn't be a story. So, for example, if anything like this happened to me, it would be a non-story story. At this point in time, give it a year or two, and that could change. But here's a picture of her, and this is an update on the story. As of 2 days ago, the 7th of December, 2024 at 5:20 p.m. We are devastated by the passing of Dominique Brown, a beloved member of the Box Lunch Collective who suffered a medical emergency at an event hosted by Box Lunch Thursday in Los Angeles. Box Lunch told Us Weekly in a statement. Our hearts go out to her family and friends, and we will do everything we can to support them and the members of the Box Lunch Collective and our team during this painful time. A source tells us, that's Us Weekly, that 911 was called immediately, and the company had previously communicated allergies of guests to the venue. Box Lunch is offering grief counseling for both staffers and the Box Lunch Collective, the group of influencers they work with regularly, of which Brown was a member. The company is conducting an independent investigation of the incident. And here is the original story. Influencer Dominique Brown passed on Thursday, December 5th at an industry event due to a severe allergic reaction. She was only 34 years old. News of Brown's death spread after a Box Lunch event where attendees say she reportedly passed after unknowingly consuming food to which she was allergic. The event was hosted by Box Lunch and multiple social media influencers. Stated via X that event hosts were informed of Brown's allergy. U.S. Weekly has reached out to Box Lunch for comment. Brown, a California resident, was a Disney-inspired influencer under the screen name Hello Domo. She co-created Black Girl Disney in 2018 with Mia Vaughn after noticing a lack of representation in the Disney influencer space, creating a welcoming community for women of color who love the brand's films and theme parks. And there is a picture of her and her influencing self. Her brother took to the comments of her final Instagram post to thank her fans. Hi, everyone. This is Primo's 313, Dominique's brother, who wrote on Friday, December 6th. I wanted to take a moment to say thank you to her social media fam for showing so much love and light. Disney did bring her joy, but it was unparalleled that she found a community who loved her and Disney as much as she did. I will miss my sister and best friend and that infectious smile she always had. Thank you, truly, from the bottom of my heart. Several Disney influencers mourned Brown in the replies to her last video, with many praising her warm, friendly nature and her efforts to create a safe and supportive community. Here's some of the comments. The kindest, most genuine person in this community. We will miss you, Domo. Tatiana Kelly, who posts as Dapper on the Daily, wrote, thank you for touching our lives with your joy and wit, for being so incredibly welcoming to us all. Katie Lane, aka Main Street Muse, commented, I'm so happy I got to hug you last week. Your positivity and passion for life will always inspire me. You were and will continue to be the good in the world, Dom. Andrea P. Kelly shared several tributes via Instagram story, writing in part, my girl built this community and inspired so many others, and I will never let anyone forget that. So, yes, it is a sad, sad story. We don't like it when anyone has a tragedy such as that happening, but typically, I don't think this was a Disney event specifically. Disney's really, really good about taking care of allergies, but it is very, very sad that we've had several Disney-related incidents with allergy passings in the last year. One, of course, being really blown up, not even by so much the passing of the person, but how poorly, unfortunately, Disney handled the incident when they wouldn't even allow them to try to litigate some type of compensation for what happened. And that was an incident here at Walt Disney World, Disney Springs. So just sad to see these things happen. Let's see who all is in the chat now. We've got Go, and Shogi says, I've had to fire people for not paying attention to food allergies. This stuff makes me furious. I agree. We had a process at all of the restaurants I worked at. Yak and Yeti, when I worked there, we actually had no choice at Yak and Yeti. We had to get the chef every single time there was an allergy situation, and the chef would come to the table and the chef would actually take care of all of it for us. Other places I worked at Disney, we would make note of the allergies that the table told us that they had. Everything had to be written down. There were times when people actually had so many that they had to bring a card, and the chef would make something special just for them. But yes, those things were always well taken care of. And Disney is typically a place that you can count on. If you do have a food allergy or reaction of some sort, they will absolutely be good to you for it. My mom's here. Good morning, Mom. She's in the house. Good morning, Jeremy. Heath says good morning, Ron and Virginia. And everyone's saying good morning to Mom. Going Shogi blessings. Good to see you all in the house. And now we want to get to the part of the story where we have our Snow White downvote watch. So if you guys have been paying attention, and I had to post on X, I'm not going to show it, but basically my post is that it wasn't so much to me. I need more coffee. I understand. It was not the casting of Rachel Zegler Snow White was wrong from the beginning. Even before they could have known how bad her mouthing off at stuff was going to be, she's just not properly cast as Snow White, and it has to do with her singing voice. And her singing voice is great; it's fabulous. I'm not saying her singing voice is bad. I'm saying it's wrong, specifically for the part of Snow White. And they keep doing this. It's just like Ariel. The live actress, the actress for the live action version of The Little Mermaid, Ariel, her voice was also wrong for the part. They keep hiring actresses, either like Hermione for and I always forget her name. I just call her Hermione because that's the only role that I associate with her. For Beauty and the Beast, the girl that played Hermione, she did not have the right voice for Belle at all. As a matter of fact, Rachel Zegler has a voice that's more akin to Belle, the character Belle, than Snow White. The casting is really bad because the casting tells you that they're trying to distance themselves from the original rather than lean into the original. So with Snow White being such an iconic movie and the first ever, it's historical. It was the first ever full-length animated feature film to show on screens. It was color. It was 1937. So I mean, there were some things that were amazing about the first Snow White, and had it failed, it would have crushed the Disney company, but it succeeded. And what it did was it catapulted the Walt Disney Company into the success that it has today. So everybody who works for Disney and has any positive influence from Disney at all, we all owe our success to Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. That specific movie did a lot for everybody in the industry and everything. Well, because of that, one of the reasons the movie was so successful is I was watching it. It's the character of Snow White it's not just that she looks, she's white, black hair, red lips. Okay, that's all part of, who Snow White is. In the books, she was always depicted with very long hair. I do think that the short bob that she was given at the time had to do with the 1937 look. Because for women at the time, the kind of little short bob Snow White thing, that was actually a very popular look, and they probably decided to go with that look just to give the people of the time something that they could relate to in a story that is actually set in the 1500s. Snow White, while looking for love in the first story, she's wishing for true love. It's what's cool about that is it makes sense that a 15, 16-year-old girl would be pining for true love, then realize that she's her own hero. And that's kind of what happens in that story. She's not, it's not that she's gone out looking to be a hero. And this is actually even better. She's looking for true love because that's what little girls grow up looking for. But then she discovers that she's a hero, and she's not really saved by a prince. She's awakened by the prince. It's not the prince that saved her. She literally gave up her life for the seven dwarfs and the kingdom and everything. And the prince comes by and does one little act. That's not saving. That's not rescuing. It's in a lot of ways you could look at it as Snow White, having made that sacrifice, actually rescued the prince. Because maybe he wouldn't have had the courage to come by and kiss her unless she was next to dead. So like you really look at the story, and I think it's seen in such a wrong light by people who don't really pay that much attention. Well, but the reason Rachel Zegler was so miscast in the role is her voice. Her voice is so wrong. That kind and sweet and gentle and demure voice and character that Snow White had, that is so the opposite of everything Rachel Zegler, and the way she plays the part and the way she sings the role. It's all so wrong for Snow White. And that's when she first got cast. It has nothing to do with her Latina background. It has nothing to do with the way she looks. It has everything to do with her voice and her characterization of how she plays Snow White. It's just the exact opposite of everything. So on that note, we are going to see how many current downvotes the trailer has. I want to make sure that it's not playing, so I don't want to get any copyright stuff, but let's bring it up to the screen and we shall check it out. Oh, there we go. Okay, so as of today, at this time, it currently is sitting at 5.6 million views. A lot of views, 5.6 million views, 27,000 upvotes out of that 5.6 million views, 27,000 people. It's a really small percent like it. 705,000 almost. So wow. So there we are. Downvoted into oblivion, as they say. So that's not really that's not a good thing. That is not a good thing. Let's see. And for all of you fine folks that are watching out there, come on now. Before we get into we're going to go to something else quick. Before we get into the main story, actually, there's something else I want to share before we get into the main story, and that is the time that we had on Saturday. Now, I posted a short on Saturday. The short is not something I'm going to get into, but it was funny. We were at SeaWorld with our son. This was his, he turned 12 on the 5th, so this was his birthday weekend, and one of the things he wanted to do was go see Santa Claus, and we went to Epcot to see Santa Claus, and he was not really we were at the cutoff point in the line, and they said, well, you could wait, but it could have been like an hour or more before we would have seen Santa, and he didn't really want to wait during the middle of the day at Epcot. So he's like, well, maybe we can go to Animal Kingdom, or we ended up going kind of late in the evening, 5:30 or so, to SeaWorld, and we didn't even know how cool the setup was going to be, so I wanted to share it all with you, how awesome the setup is. Anyway, we were waiting there in line, and some very, very inebriated people came, and they thought that somebody in line, I think they were just saying, be careful, watch, because like as these inebriated people were passing by some people that had a stroller or some type of wheelchair or something, they kind of nicked them, and they said something, and then they got in this big old scuffle. That short happens to be on the channel. I don't even know how it started really the fight, but man, I was really worried that was going to break out into a full blown like fist fight type of thing. Fortunately, it did not. But anyway, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when we actually got up to, and I think I did place a short on this on the channel this morning, how cool the experience was of actually going to see Santa at SeaWorld. It was really, really cool. So I wanted to show you guys that because in case, yeah, better not shout, better not cry, better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is throwing you out. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. These drunk people, that was crazy. You saw it, Tom. I know Tom saw it. Anyway, so we go, and I had no idea. SeaWorld has consistently done a great job throughout the years of their Santa meet and greet. The only one that I ever considered on the same level as SeaWorld as far as Disney's Santa meet and greets were concerned, I've never been. The only one that I really liked was when the Santa meet and greet at Epcot happened to be at the American Pavilion. Now, it was there for years, and for some reason they moved it into the Odyssey. And I get that it's indoors, and maybe that's better, but I will tell you that the setup that they had at the American Pavilion was much more beautiful than they had at the Odyssey. And at the American Pavilion, you would meet Santa and Mrs. Claus. And so I really, really enjoyed that for years. But throughout the years that we've lived here, we have done SeaWorld Santa a lot, and he's always been great. Like, I've loved going to visit Santa Claus at SeaWorld. So I kind of wanted to share a little bit with that. I'm going to put this into a vlog. At least that's the plan right now. Let's see if I can start here. You'll see a little bit of this is really, there's quite a bit of video with this, but I just kind of want to take you through a little bit of how SeaWorld sets up their Christmas time stuff. And let's put that on the screen for you. So there is, you can see this is walking into SeaWorld. It's just, look how pretty that is. It's just really, really pretty there. We're kind of going to go through some slides here and see, because that was all the beginning stuff. Let's see if I can find this is a train track that they have set up at SeaWorld, a Christmas train track. That was very cool. And then walking into the snowy area. Oh, here it's snowing. Let's see if the video will play. There's my beautiful wife, Virginia, and Xander. Look at that. And the snow is coming down. It's so cool. Of course, that is our famous Orlando Snope. And look at that beautiful snowy sky. And the great part about it is you can wash your hands with it. This is the one of the tree setup that they got out there in the Sea of Trees, which is beautiful, by the way. This whole setup that they have at SeaWorld Orlando and their Sea of Trees. Guys, I'm going to tell you, you feel the Christmas spirit so much more at SeaWorld than you do at Walt Disney World. Now, I will tell you, Main Street at Walt Disney World at the Magic Kingdom is beautiful. And the Main Street area feels very Christmassy. Once you get anywhere past the castle, other than the Jingle Cruise, there's no Christmas, like, really anywhere. It's not really a whole lot of Christmas influence. On the other hand, SeaWorld, their Christmas is throughout the entire park. Okay. And you've got the Sea of Trees, and I'm going to try and see if I can forward to where we went into Meet Santa Claus. That was the crazy drunk people one. And let's get past. Oh, here we go. So we actually, this picture right here is inside of a train. And you can see it's like a miniature elf-sized train, and they were taking us to the North Pole in this train, which this is brand new this year for SeaWorld. I don't think they're going to keep it. They might keep it. I don't know. It depends on how it works out for them. But then we got back there, and just look at the setup with all the Christmas trees, and it's white and it's lit up, and it feels like you're in the North Pole. And then there is Santa Claus. And you greet him in a Santa barn. There's his sleigh over to the left as he's preparing to take the sleigh out. You can see Blitzen's pin over to the right. And there's Xander and Santa Claus talking. And I have some of this in video, but that's okay. We're just showing you the pictures for now. And then they sat down to take the picture. Boom, boom, boom. There it is. We had a great time, guys. I'm telling you, it is all decked out. And look at this. This is an entire separate Bob Hoskins as Santa. This is an entirely separate space from anywhere else at SeaWorld. So this is not in anything that's already set up like at Disney when you go to Epcot and you have the Odyssey there. No, they built an entire barn to put this sleigh in, and Santa, you see the toys in the back. He's got trees. It's lit up with Christmas all around. It is very, very, very Christmassy. And what an excellent setup they have. Do they have yes. So I don't have any pictures of that because my camera died. My phone died. I don't know if it was cold. I think it might have been cold or something, but my phone would not turn back on. And then I got out to the car and it was fine. Anyway, yeah. So I will go back to SeaWorld and we'll do more vlogging during the season there, but they absolutely do have the Rudolph and Friends set up this year. So, and if you want to meet out there, that'd be great. That'd be cool. SeaWorld is amazing for Christmas, guys. If you are coming to Orlando, I would suggest for sure, if you're coming at Christmas time, try not to miss SeaWorld. Don't just do Disney at Christmas, because Orlando has so much more to offer as far as Christmas is concerned than just Disney. But I would definitely recommend not doing just Disney at Christmas time. But before we get into the next story and the main story of the day, I'm going to clear my throat for one. As a matter of fact, let me take a drink. Yum, yum, yum. Okay. I want to celebrate everybody here and celebrate everybody that's watching. We're going to do a short celebration.
Is it too much? Too much. It's the birthday. Oh, this is just the best of my scene. Cool. Oh, wait a second. Go and Shogi has gifted 5 memberships. Oh my goodness. Thank you for the gifties. We've got Be Our Geist. I'll read it from here. Be Our Geist, Mark Mull, Malachi McCrae, David Torres, and Just Nita. Hi, Just Nita. You are all gifted memberships to Follow the Bradley's Fun. And for that, I think we are owed yet another celebration. But we'll do the short one for now. We'll hold on to the long one.
Okay. So thank you so much for your generosity, Go and Shogi. All right, so let's get to the main story, and that is the fifth gate. A fifth gate coming to Walt Disney World. Do you remember, guys, about 6 months ago, 7 months ago, 8 months ago, a big news story hit. Disney granted permission for a fifth gate, and everyone was saying fifth gate, fifth gate, fifth gate. Then D23, nothing about a fifth gate. D23, all these announcements came out. This is what we're doing at Disney World. This is going to be great. And it's going to be this and this and that. And then we found out after D23 that what they should have been doing is, hey guys, welcome to D23, where we're going to tell you what we're doing at Disney World. First of all, we're going to absolutely demolish the rivers of America and Tom Sawyer's Island. You know, those are iconic things that Walt Disney wanted in his parks so that people want to understand and appreciate the history of the United States and the America that they came from, and that without all of those pioneers and the frontier, that we wouldn't be here and have the opportunities and freedoms and liberties that we have today. Well, we're going to destroy all of that. That's what we're doing at Disney because we don't like that influence. We hate to talk about how the founders of this country and America, we hate to talk about the freedoms that they gave us because freedom, we don't want to move towards that. We want to move toward that other stuff like, you know, socialism. Yeah, that's the way they should have gone, to be honest about it, but they weren't because they know people generally don't like it. Their minds and their little bubble, that's what they want, but that's not what the rest of the world wants. The rest of the world wants to celebrate freedom. The rest of the world happens to love the United States of America and our history. As a matter of fact, why do you think we have so many people trying to come here, whether it's legal or illegal? People want to be here because they love our history. And Disney wants to destroy it. Oh, we have legacies like Jim Henson and his Muppets, and maybe the last creation that Jim Henson ever did while he was alive. Well, we're going to destroy that. We're going to get rid of that Muppet Theater. We're going to rip it out, and we're going to put in Monsters, Inc. Yeah. Which, by the way, is a property that very few people care about a whole heck of a lot anymore. Jonathan, 9:30 Eastern, 10:30 Central. You gotta take into account Eastern or Central time, Jonathan. So if I say 9:30, I'm saying 9:30 Eastern. That's okay. Welcome into the program, Jonathan. Remember, we are talking about the potential of a fifth gate at Disney World. And so anyway, so all of these things were announced at D23. All of them are destroying things that are already at Disney. When Walt Disney himself said the one thing that we have here in Florida is the benefit of space, of land. We have enough land here to do anything we want, anything we can imagine. And instead of taking that land, building a fifth gate, competing with Epic Universe, Disney just wants to destroy the wonderful things that they have. Yeah, they could have an epic Disney universe, and they do not. Well, we're going to read a story out of. Let me see. It says that this article is only log out. What's the log out thing? I'm trying to. Let's see here. Let me see if I can do this. I had the story up on the screen, and then the story got blocked out. Let me see if I can find it again. See, this is the problem with preparation for a show like this. You prepare the show, and then your browser decides we don't like you, or the company that puts out the information decides we don't like you because you're not giving us all the money we want to get. Let me see if I can find it again. Yes, here we go. I'm going to see if it'll let me bring this up, or if it doesn't, there might be a way to get this up. Right now it's trying to give me the page unresponsive.
Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. I really want to bring this article up, and it's giving me technical issues. I don't think it's because of the browser. I think it's because this is out of the Orlando Sentinel, and Orlando Sentinel doesn't like free information. And I am not going to pay for a newspaper. Although they are having a $1 for the year sale. It says save. Let me see. I'm going to try something else. All right, let me see here. Hold on to the edge of your seats. It wants me to subscribe to continue reading, and I don't like that. Especially since they really shouldn't do this on important stories like this. If it's so important to get out the word, don't make me pay for it. Let me see here. Basically, what they're saying in the article is that Disney must add a new theme park to maintain market dominance. I apologize to you guys, my audience, because when I brought this up before, it brought up the article without an issue, and then I went back to the tab just now, and it says you have like the whole thing, whole tab that I had up and ready for you to go and ready to read, and had actually read a portion of, is now deciding that it doesn't want to come up, and instead it wants to block the whole article, saying it's only available to subscribers, where it did not do that when I was first prepping for the show. So I do apologize. That I'm trying to see if this is reprinted anywhere else, because sometimes you get that. So I'm going to check and see if there is a somebody has shared a reprint of it. I got it, guys. I got it. It is not. All right, so I can share this one. I'm going to share this out of Inside the Magic. This is not the initial. Izzo's place is ninja watching. Hold on to Ron as we go. You know you're not alone, because Ron will make this place your home. All right, so this is out of Inside the Magic. This is not the original one that I wanted to share, but I think it will be exactly what I am looking for. So
Florida is practically begging Disney World to build a fifth gate. Yes, so this is not they probably based this article on the Orlando Sentinel article, and this was posted yesterday, so it makes sense. Disney fans have been begging the company, and this is true. This is actually true. Disney fans have been begging the company to build a fifth gate in Central Florida, if not to compete with Universal Studios, but to disperse some of the crowds at Disney World's current theme parks. Now, granted, the crowds have gone down a bit this year, but people, nobody loves a crowded theme park, regardless of whether those crowds are just huge or I mean, the crowds at Disney parks are going to be big even when they're diminished. So they are diminished this year, but there are what there have been this year is a lot more days when crowds are low. But when crowds are high, they're high, and it is what it is. But Disney fans have been begging the company to build a fifth gate in Central Florida, if not to compete with Universal Studios, but to disperse some of the crowds at Disney World's current theme parks. However, based on recent announcements, Disney seems content to revamp its current theme parks rather than to expand. Now, I probably wouldn't term it that way. I would say Disney seems determined to destroy everything they have in their current theme parks rather than to expand. All of Disney's announcements have shown guests that the company wants to remove attractions and replace them with current intellectual property instead. Disney has more than enough room to expand. When Walt Disney originally purchased the land, he bought 42 acres. Currently, only 38% of that land is developed. That's a third. That means there's 2/3 of undeveloped land. The former Reedy Creek Improvement District, which oversaw Disney World before the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District, pledged to keep 20% of the land undeveloped as a natural preserve. Even that untouchable land still leaves 42% or 18 square miles available for building. Opening a fifth gate would immensely help Disney fans by dispersing crowds into another park. However, with fewer people coming to the parks and paying more to do so, Disney no longer sees these crowds as a problem. However, a big problem is coming for Disney in the form of Epic Universe. Disney, I have to give credit where credit due to them because this is actually properly written here. Disney falsely believes that the opening of Epic Universe across town will benefit them as well, but with nothing new to attract an audience, there's no reason for guests to come to Disney World in 2025. That is a very important statement. There's no reason for guests to come to Disney World in 2025. If they're coming here to see Epic Universe, they're already forced to buy 3 days at Universal, so it makes sense that they're just going to make their vacation a Universal vacation. Now, Central Florida's newspaper of record, the Orlando Sentinel, see, and this is why I brought up this article because they are referencing the article that I wanted. Central Florida's newspaper of record, the Orlando Sentinel, is arguing that Disney World must open a fifth gate. A new Disney park would benefit the area and keep guests coming to Disney World and Universal Studios Orlando Resort. Here's what Disney can do for its fifth gate. The argument the Sentinel makes to Disney is pretty simple. Innovate and create a new park or risk losing fans. The paper writes, while Disney has an unparalleled attractions legacy resting on its laurels in the face of such formidable forthcoming competition could prove detrimental in the Orlando market. The introduction of a fifth gate would serve as a powerful countermeasure, reinforcing Disney's position as the premier destination for theme park enthusiasts in Orlando as well as worldwide. However, Disney fans will tell you that the age of Disney innovation is over. Disney's latest attractions, Tiana's Bayou Adventure and Communicore Hall, show that the company has lost a step. However, Disney has shown in its worldwide parks that the spark of Walt Disney's innovation is still there. Look no further than the new rides, attractions, and open lands at Tokyo Disneyland, the Shanghai Disney Resort, Hong Kong Disneyland, and Disneyland Paris. Disney can bring that technology and innovation to the Walt Disney World Resort, and it is an absolute necessity. The Sentinel argues that Disney has to do this to compete with Epic Universe. Universal Orlando Resort has created one of the world's most innovative and creative parks, and Disney has nothing that can compete. Announcing a new park next year would also help take some of the shine off Universal's new pet. The Sentinel writes, the need for a clear, bold move within the next 12 to 18 months is critical in this Orlando attractions armaments race. Announcing plans for a new theme park during this period will allow Disney to capture the public's imagination and maintain its relevance amid the growing buzz surrounding Epic Universe. Those of us in the industry are acutely aware that it takes upwards of 7 to 10 years to plan, design, construct, and open a new park. Communicating the commitment to introduce a new park soon will excite Disney's fan base and signal to the market that Disney is continuously innovating and expanding. This move would be seen as a confident assertion of Disney's continued control in the theme park industry. If Disney wants to return to being Disney, building a fifth gate with a surrounding resort area is the only way to compete. So what's stopping Disney? The financials. The Walt Disney Company announced it would spend $17 billion at the Walt Disney Resort over the next decade. That's more than enough money to create at least one, if not two, new theme parks. Disney's last theme park to open in Central Florida was Animal Kingdom in 1998. That came at a cost of around $1 billion, which is equivalent to around $2 billion today. Again, with $17 billion to spend, a $2 billion addition is feasible. Even with the expansion projects at Hollywood Studios, Animal Kingdom, and Magic Kingdom taking up some of that money, there is still more than enough money for another gate. To put this into some perspective, Disney's edition of the new Fantasyland at Magic Kingdom cost around $600 million, and that was more than a decade ago. Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Hollywood Studios cost around $1 billion, and building Pandora, the world of Avatar at Animal Kingdom, cost around $500 million. If we were to adjust those numbers for inflation, the cost of 3 new lands would be approximately $3 billion. Disney plans to add 4 new lands in Central Florida, so let's assume that the projected cost would be roughly $4 billion. That would leave Disney World with an additional $13 billion in addition to another park. Disney must include resort hotels, shopping, dining, and possibly another water park. There is still enough in the budget to cover all of those things. Disney had a perfect outlet for its fifth gate, a Villains Park. However, Disney decided to include a new villain land in the Magic Kingdom. Does that necessarily mean that Disney villains are out for their own park? Not necessarily. Disney would do something similar to Universal Orlando, including a villains park next to the Magic Kingdom as a second gate. This is the best of both worlds for Disney. It would give them a fifth gate and require guests to purchase a park hopper to get into the new theme park. Outside of villains, Disney has hundreds of intellectual properties that it could use for a new theme park. It could also be a park that looks to the future, as Epcot seemingly no longer does that. The new park could focus on innovations in Disney's latest rides and attractions like Epcot was supposed to be, but it could be in a constant state of reinvention. However, Disney will most likely use a fifth gate to showcase its films and television shows, including rides based on its latest films such as Moana and Frozen. With Disney, the possibilities are endless, so why not do it? The results, Disney fans want this. Florida wants it. Disney needs this, so why not just make the announcement? If Disney were to make this announcement, it would probably be in the spring. That would help take some of the shine off of Epic Universe. This would also be a nice ending for Disney CEO Bob Iger. He has not added a gate at Disney World, and what a nice parting gift for him when he leaves in 2026. That just makes so much sense, which means that Disney probably won't do it, despite what fans and Florida want. And there is the bottom line. If it makes sense, Disney is likely not going to do it. So yeah, there you have it, guys. A fifth gate is overwhelmingly unlikely at Walt Disney World anytime in the foreseeable future, or possibly anytime at all, because that's not Bob Iger's deal. It's not what he does. It's not what he wants. That's my opinion. My opinion is a fifth gate is not happening. And frankly,
I think it's not happening because I think the figures of $17 billion allocated for improvements at Disney World, there's a lot of wiggle room, basically. Let's just. So, and Izzo's Place says, this ain't happening, or if it does, the fifth gate will open 2037. Here's the problem. The problem is that Disney has been very reactionary since 2010 to Universal's competition. They laughed off Universal being competition from the time that Eisner created Disney's Hollywood Studios and built Universal to the punch and opening it. Disney as a company has been laughing off Universal ever since then as no real competition for them. But in 2010, they added Harry Potter, and they've been growing ever since. And also, Universal's been basically taking all of the great Imagineers away from Disney. So they don't have, the company doesn't have the structure to build a fifth gate anymore. Right now, they do not have the people in place they would need to build a fifth gate, period. They just don't. They don't have the creative minds. Bob Iger is not about creativity. He is about diversity and inclusion, which always excludes the most creative minds. When you start to hire people based on superficial aspects of who they are as people, then you do not get the best people. When you hire people based on their competency and their ability to perform the work, and you keep people around based on their competency and ability to perform the work, regardless of what other people they might be offending around them, which is ridiculous, it's bad, right? So the company has gotten rid of so many good people and kept so many people who are all about how offended they get at the least little thing. And that they're just not good employees. The company does not have the best employees anymore, period. And I wish they did. Because what we all want as Disney fans, we want Disney. So that being said, that is why I have my merchandise that says, make Disney Walt again. And I will talk about my merch real quick here. Before we go, you can see this is not that. This is that's my snapback baseball cap. Follow the Bradley's fun. But if we go to all products, you can kind of see there's my make Disney Walt again hat for $21. That can be yours, by the way. You'll see it on the show soon, I promise. You will. But yes, so we have merchandise available. We have all these things available, and we have you available because you are the energon that makes this guy transform and roll out. And on that note, I want to thank Go and Shogi for the 5 gifted memberships. And before we head out the door today, we have to celebrate. Everybody get ready with your custom member emojis. If you got them, get them ready. It's time to dance.
Too much? Too much? It's perfect! Wahoo! Oh, this is so nice. Give me a break. I couldn't be more excited. Okay, this anticipation is making me mental. But if they say yes, you can be on the show. I think I would go so crazy. On the
Oh, I'm back. Okay. Guys, thank you so much for being here today for the Daily Dish. Follow the Bradley's Fun. We're going to send you right over to Culture, so make sure that you say hi to Culture Casino on the way in. And until the next time, we will see you real soon. Bye, everybody. Ciao.